It is the Riot podcast for Friday, December 15th. Before we get into this podcast, we should remind you that our Riot Live at Christmas party was last night, and we had a ball. I think everybody who watched live had a ball, and you can still watch it and have a ball yourself by checking it out on the RadioU Riot Facebook page or YouTube channel. And today in the show, we have a little debate about drunk driving. Not whether it's right or wrong, but how to stop it.
We also talked about if anyone has ever actually kissed under a mistletoe.
Also, we question whether our dogs love Christmas as much as we do and what they would do if they saw Santa Claus in our homes.
And finally, a new Christmas dating trend. Your relationship may seem like it's going well, or are they just waiting for the new year to possibly turn the tables?
Enjoy the show today. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Now, with the holidays also comes harmful holiday dating trends. And I've got a new one for you. It's called tinseling.
Sounds dangerous.
It
Sounds
sure is.
dangerous.
It sure is. You know, tinsel is back in style now. But tinseling is never in fashion.
My family didn't love tinsel. My dad especially. He thought it made a mess.
It is. It's messy. Nikki and I talked about this last week when you were out, that tinseling, no good. If you had tinsel on your tree, it would be a disaster because Jim the dog would eat it.
Yeah, he would go wild with it.
And
He'd be
then
flinging it around with his nose.
Either you need surgery to get it out.
No!
Or it all comes out. Well, you can do the math. But tinseling, let's talk about the dating trend. Tinseling, much like you would put tinsel on a tree, it's bright and shiny and eye-catching, but underneath hides a dry, boring fire hazard of a Christmas tree. Similarly, tinseling in a relationship is covering the relationship with bright and shiny Christmas cheer, but underneath bubbles some real issues that some refuse to address.
So essentially it's Christmas time, all fun and games, but in reality, your relationship is on thin ice.
It could be. Described by Tina Wilson, a relationship expert. She coined the term. She says that it's choosing to maintain a facade of harmony and togetherness, all while overlooking unresolved problems in the relationship.
I will say during the Christmas season, it is easy to think about a lot of other things. It's a busy time.
Yes.
You're shopping for one another, shopping for the family. There's lots of events going on, Christmas movies. You can keep your mind off your issues pretty easily.
Yeah, for a while. I think the holidays can have a real. It's a bell curve, a reverse bell curve of what they can do to your relationship. Either you gloss over any issues, or because you're all just having fun and games because it's holidays, or all the pressure of the holidays bring your issues to a head and make it even worse this time of year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's all about if you're confrontational versus non-confrontational too.
Yeah.
I think if you're confrontational, then the Christmas time might be a little bit stressful for you because you're going to bring it up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Whereas if you're non-confrontational, then you can just avoid it. It's really easy to avoid.
That's exactly right. And it ties into a warning sign. The top warning sign of your relationship being tinseled is noticing your partner being overly full of the Christmas spirit, or maybe yourself, full of Christmas spirit, presents, joy galore. But if you want to talk about anything serious, they'll always say, let's talk after Christmas.
You're done for.
Yeah. But if you're trying to have like real serious chats right now too, maybe you're thinking a little too much too. Maybe you guys got to meet in the middle. Maybe they're a little too much excited. maybe you're a little too serious. Try to have a little fun.
Try to have a little Christmas spirit.
Yeah. Just wait till you see what they got you.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get through the gifts, then you can figure out everything else.
Yeah.
If they didn't get you good gifts, then you know what to do.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
I have a guy here who, thanks to a single bug getting into his home, caused his entire apartment to explode.
That doesn't seem like the ideal route. Getting rid of a bug.
It does not. It was a cockroach. Isaiah, what do you do if you notice a bug, an unwelcome bug in your house?
I actually have a way of getting rid of these kind of things that might be a little bit unorthodox.
Yeah.
I usually say, Jim, get it. I
Jim
point
the
at
dog,
it.
yeah.
Yes, my dog. Because I want him to feel like he has a job. He doesn't really have a job at the house. He kind of just sleeps. But he feels very good when he gets to smash a bug.
And so what does he kill it?
Of course he kills it. He jumps on top of it a bunch of times. And then by the time that he kills it, then he looks at me pridefully.
Yeah.
And I say, good boy, Jim. And I give him a treat. I want him to feel like he has a job.
Has he ever been bitten or stung? Or...
Oh, no. He's mainly killing ants.
Yeah.
I haven't had to. Spiders as well. He's killed spiders.
Stink bugs? Any stink bugs?
He's went at stink bugs before. I usually have to get him off those.
Yeah, that could
I
be
don't want my
trouble.
house smelling.
Yeah.
But I like to make him feel like he's done something, accomplished something.
I feel like for Jim the dog, one bee sting would be enough to make him never attack a bug again.
Yeah, thankfully we haven't had to do bees.
Yeah.
Mainly spiders and ants, and yet again, he feels very proud when he does it. I like to give him a treat because he has no job.
That's smart. I'll tell you, it also smart because it wouldn't cause your house to explode. What I have here is this guy in Japan, a single cockroach entered his home, and he really wanted to get this cockroach out of there. So he had a can of cockroach insecticide that he, again, for a single cockroach, apparently just went all out, spraying this entire bottle of the aerosol, like Raid or whatever. But the problem was, in Japan, they have something called a kotatsu, which is a heating table. And so he sprayed so much of this thing, which is flammable, near his heating table, and that caused the explosion. So I have to imagine it did kill the cockroach, maybe. And fortunately, the guy is okay, but not his apartment. Apartment not okay.
Jocelyn texted in. She said, me when I see a bug, and she said there's a gif of there was a spider I panicked and it's a house burning down.
Yeah.
She said, but I think it's gone now.
That's what happened to this guy.
And some people do get that way. Some people freak out about bugs. And they immediately go worst case scenario, like this man who blew up the apartment. I would say, does he get kicked out now?
He's not getting the deposit back. I'll tell you that.
You lose your lease on something like
Yeah.
that? Like you're out, right? And it's one cockroach? Why? And I don't understand how big was the explosion.
It was enough to...
Because he's still alive to tell the story.
Yeah, but it was enough to smash his windows anyways.
I wonder what, he's spraying this, the explosion happens, he probably jumps.
Yeah.
Slow-mo, explosion behind him. Cockroach still alive, probably. Cockroaches are hard to kill.
They are. That's why you just got to smash them if you want to get them out. Or you can do what I do. I'm a very peaceful individual.
You don't.
I'm afraid of bugs, but I always make an effort to capture them with a cup. And
no, you don't.
I do every time. Always.
A cup?
Yeah.
And you let them rain free outside?
Free outside, yeah.
They're coming right back in. How do you think they got in the first time?
I don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
They're coming right back inside to your warm, cozy couch.
I haven't crossed paths with the same bug many times, so it seems to be working.
Maybe they're grateful.
That's right. Because I didn't have to give them another chance at life, but I did it.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Do you believe this, Isaiah? A new study has come out that suggests that our pets enjoy Christmas as much as we do.
Maybe if you have a really smart dog.
So you don't think Jim, you wouldn't describe him as smart.
I wouldn't, no. I
So
still love him, though.
But you don't think, so you're saying that you don't think Jim the dog enjoys Christmas as much as you do.
There's no chance.
I think this would be a very exciting time for him.
Not this year. Jim, I'm not going to lie. He's going to have a bad Christmas.
Uh-oh. Why do you say that?
I'm traveling for Christmas.
Oh, is he getting boarded?
And he can't come. But no, he's not getting boarded. He's going to be at home with my roommate.
Oh.
But he's not going to get to spend Christmas with me.
A little lonely.
He won't be lonely. He might be a little lonely.
Yeah, I think he'll be lonely.
On Christmas, I feel bad. But my whole family decided to leave. So I had no choice. My whole family decided that they were going to take a flight.
Yeah.
And he can't. I mean, we know. We can't take him on a plane.
Have you ever tried?
He barely behaves in my house. He would be, I mean, the number one villain on a plane. There's no chance they would allow him. I would probably be on the no-fly list if I brought that dog on a plane and he was beside me.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
Well, put him down below in the below decks.
The underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The cargo hold.
Unfortunately, Jim, this Christmas, he's not going to be his best Christmas. But when we get back, we're going to have another Christmas when we get back. So he'll get to experience that.
All right, fine. Let's talk about then, generically, previous Christmases. Do you think Jim the dog enjoyed it as much as you?
He has had a good time. He got to go, so he was there.
Yeah.
He got gifts. He got a big bone. He gets gifts from people, so he enjoys that. He likes the gatherings. He likes people.
According to, this is a study from Many Pets, and they used a dog behaviorist as well to help them figure this out. They found not only that pets enjoy Christmas and the festivities, they also found that many are capable of recognizing Santa Claus himself. You think Jim could do that?
Jim doesn't even look. He won't even look at a TV or my phone, so he doesn't recognize Santa.
He doesn't know who Santa is.
He refuses, actually. It's pretty wild. If I hold my phone up to him, my screen, to try to get a picture of him, he will not look at the phone. He won't look at the screen for some reason. He's one of those dogs. He refuses to watch TV, won't watch it. If you try to make him watch it, he won't watch it. So I don't think he would recognize Santa.
I don't think.
But Zafira?
Zafira, if Santa Claus, if she was awake when Santa Claus came down the chimney, which
you know
I
what
don't
she would
have,
do?
Oh, she'd bark like mad.
She'd run him out.
Yeah. I'll tell you, in the great debate of is Santa Claus real or whatever, the one thing that definitely supports the Santa Claus non-believers is how dogs, like, how could Santa deal with all the dogs? It's got to be magic.
Magic.
Yeah. Because there's no realistic way that he could manage all these dumb dogs we've got. Or good dogs that are good protectors. Either way.
It's the magic. I mean, the magic is unquestioned.
Well, I guess also, maybe, according to the study, dogs recognize him, so they know he's no trouble. Yeah.
They know not to bark.
That's probably what it is.
That makes sense. I mean, when you say that that high of a percentage can recognize Santa.
Yeah.
That just means that those are the dogs that aren't sleeping in the bed with you. Obviously.
Right. Yeah, because they've seen him before, probably.
Makes sense. Jim sleeps in my bed. That's why I wouldn't recognize him, obviously.
Oh, hi there.
Worst of the riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
Mistletoe. Have you ever actually seen mistletoe at a party hanging from one of the doorways?
I have not seen a mistletoe hanging around.
I'd like to put this question out to Radio U. You can text in to the Riot Hotline.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Has anyone ever actually kissed under the mistletoe in real life?
I never have. Have you? Have you seen it? I've never even seen the mistletoe.
I don't think that I know of I've ever seen mistletoe in real life. Just in like movies. And I don't even think like real movies, like cartoons. I'm not even sure I would know what it looks like.
I know what it looks like. It's like there's like a little ribbon and a bell and some greenery. And it's little and it hangs.
Yeah.
Usually over a doorway.
Yeah, because two people are always going through a doorway together.
It's usually
What
the cross.
better place?
It's usually maybe you come around a corner
Okay.
and you just find yourself under it. What do? You have to kiss.
That's also the thing in movies, right? Where it's like you're required.
It
Like,
almost
it's
seems a little
like
non-consensual if you ask me.
Yeah, mistletoe does not equal consent. It almost seems like you've like if you're going to a party that has mistletoe, there's like some contract that is signed where you have to kiss if you happen to meet somebody under the mistletoe.
And there's always that one guy that's kind of like leaned up against the wall that's right next to it at all times, just waiting to get himself a snog.
That'd be you, wouldn't it?
That would not be me.
Just like constantly posted up under the doorway, just hoping. If you see somebody coming, you don't really want to kiss them. You like kind of like step away.
Yeah.
You take a quick little.
You act like you're looking at something on your phone. You turn around.
Yep, a quick little hop.
And then right as soon as
drink's empty, gotta go refill this.
right as soon as the pretty girl's walking, I spin around. Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
What do we do now?
What are the odds?
We both just found ourselves here under the mistletoe. Mark said he had mistletoe in his house in a doorway. Kissed his girlfriend under it. I might have to put it up to steal more kisses.
Hey, that's smart.
Now we're thinking.
I'm wondering too, if you do have mistletoe and you've kissed under it, it wasn't like it's not, again, like in the movies, it's always like, oh, what a happy accident. But we've kind of been, noticing
That's
each other
never
anyways.
happened in real life.
It's always like, I feel like it's pre-planned that you're going to meet under the mistletoe. It's orchestrated. It's not as cute.
It's unless it's like if you hang it up like Mark did in his house.
Yeah.
It's like your girlfriend or your wife and you walk under it. That's just like a cute little Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you're at a party, has anyone ever been at a party where there's been mistletoe hanging? Whoever hung that, a little creepy,
Yep.
a little questionable.
Uh-huh.
But then I think at the same time, makes for a good party.
It does. It makes for a good story if it all works out. But it could also lead to somebody being very upset.
Regina says, only because my corny mother put it up at her house and pointed it out to all the couples. Sounds like a motherly thing to do.
Yeah, that's right. Especially if there was like, what if your mom invited over, like, you're single and she's really been trying to set you up with this one gal.
And you don't want to be set up with her.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to be set up with any gal probably your mom's trying to set you up with. And she's like, oh, Stephanie also happens to be here. And look, I hung mistletoe. And look, it's over you two guys' chairs.
Yeah, sounds like the worst case scenario. If it's hanging in a house, I'd say no. If it's at a party, that's just never happened. Dee says, my mom kept plastic mistletoe hanging in the kitchen, so my dad always said he had to kiss her when walking through the kitchen.
Does plastic mistletoe?
It counts.
It counts.
Yeah, it still counts.
Who's going to check the reality of it right before they kiss?
Susanna says, husband and I were walking in North Carolina, and it grows wild there. We always had a fake one growing up.
I always thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was like only grew in like Alaska or something. Apparently not.
You see it in the wild, you have to kiss. I'll tell you that much. If you walk under it in the wild,
In like the forest?
you have to kiss.
Yeah, I guess so.
No matter who's there.
Because that's fate right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
An interesting little debate that's taking place right now. You can chime in at 8772 Radio U. It says here, government officials are one step closer to making impaired driving prevention technology a safety standard in new cars. In other words, there is technology that exists in the early stages of development that could be installed if you bought a brand new car that would be able to detect if you were about to drive drunk and therefore prevent you from actually driving. Now, obviously, let's look at this. You look at the pro, people wouldn't be able to drive drunk.
That's
But
good.
That's a very good thing. Driving drunk, bad. We all agree. What some naysayers might say is if you install this in every new car, is that a little bit of an encroachment on some privacy? The car that belongs to you. And also, of course, another thing you could say is, how do we know? How do we trust this? How could it be used against people that maybe aren't actually trying to get behind the wheel drunk? There's a lot of potential foibles, but are the foibles worth it to prevent drunk driving, which is obviously a big problem?
So I imagine this technology.
Yep.
It says that it can sense it.
Yes. Some people, I think initially coming to mind, would think, oh, so they're going to put a breathalyzer in every single vehicle.
That you'd have to blow into.
No, that's not what they're doing. This would be, I guess similar to the kind of like how you have lane assist that makes sure you don't try to change lanes with somebody behind you, or like how you can automatically parallel park, some kind of technology that's going to be able to detect based off of your behavior and movements. Maybe it can read your eyes. I'm not sure. But it would be able to sense based off of your behavior if you are drunk.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is never going to work.
Probably, yeah, because it would always say I'm too drunk.
Every morning when I'm driving into RadioU at like 5 in the morning, there's no shot they wouldn't be like, this guy, he cannot be driving.
Yeah.
Because I'm like half awake. I'm like pushing the center lane a little bit. I'm getting back over. I'm trying to keep myself all locked in here. I don't want them telling me that I need to stop on the way.
But that said, even if we aren't drunk, if we're unsafe to drive, we're unsafe to drive. But then again, isn't that what a driver's license is telling you? If we got the license, we're safe to drive.
What about this? Instead of maybe being able to tell by your driving, maybe when you get in the car, it asks you a question and you only have so much time to react.
Ooh. Like, what would the questions be?
Maybe like, go ahead and give me M through P backwards.
And that would be able to
you failed. No, you're not driving.
You weren't asking me. Isn't that when the police ask you to do that, isn't that like to see if you follow instruction, not to actually see if you could accurately do it?
I don't know if it's what the inner workings are.
That's what I've learned.
I wouldn't mind
from all the times I've been pulled over. Now I'm just
yeah, I wouldn't mind just maybe a simple question. If you can answer the question, then what's the square root of 64?
Yeah, but most people, what if you don't know that anyways?
Unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to drive.
I mean, your approach is a lot simpler and a little maybe less invasive, or just has less potential to be misused, I guess you could say.
And it would also be a little annoying too. Let's say even if they just put the breathalyzer in there, right?
Yeah.
But it would be annoying that every time you got in the car, you got to blow into that thing.
Yeah. Well,
you would think that it would it'd be pretty quick.
But many would say that would be like people coming into your house without a warrant just to check. It's probably like you have to have a reason to think I'm dangerous to actually start charging me or investigating me, kind of stuff.
But if they put it in the car, it would be just as normal as putting your seatbelt on, probably, if you gave it like 3 years.
Yeah, and everybody who's not drunk. I mean, the breathalyzer would probably be more accurate, and everybody who's not drunk shouldn't have too much of a problem with that, right?
You would think they would get that right. People would be upset. The first time it messes up, oh man, everybody's outraged.
That's right, and a mess up. 8772 RadioU, where do you land on the anti-drunk driving technology?
Wasn't that a great riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.